Sorry if you guys see me kind of staring down here. My college basketball team is fighting for their tournament lives as we speak. Josh's is out of contention, so he doesn't have to worry about these kind of things.
I'm not
Watching
cool.
Michigan play Illinois, so
Uh,
if I periodically start screaming or something, throughout that's what's going on here.
I'm not cool with you saying my basketball team like that. Like it's kind of fucked up.
You want me to call them out by name?
No, bro, just chill out. How about that?
Okay.
How about
Oh,
stop
all
being
right,
a
all right.
hater?
No, you're right. My bad. We don't have to talk about those who aren't present.
How about stop being a hater? I
You
mean, it's as
won't be
simple as
present.
that. All right.
Aren't even a factor.
Anyway, it looks like we got a couple people in here, which I would assume means that audio sounds good. Everything is all good to go. Um, I was kind of hoping that it still wouldn't be 50-50 at this point, so I can know whether or not to wear the wig or not. But I guess I won't wear it, according to Marcus.
Hey,
Um,
man, you grown. You can do what you want. You know what I'm saying?
with that being said, well, I still got the chain on. You know what I'm saying? I'm still flexing on these niggas a little bit. You know what I mean? Still
Yeah,
a bit
man.
shining. You know what I mean?
Them making some money, boy. It's the best thing they ever did.
Yikes! All right. Anyway, so should we start with Snowfall, or are we starting with Bel Air this time? What are we doing? Because I also need to change my background if we're going to Bel Air.
I will be honest with you and say that I would say that Snowfall had the more interesting episode this week. But you the boss, bro. You tell us where we going.
Well, in the interest of the fact that I already have the Snowfall background, I think I'm just going to go with Snowfall. All
Okay.
right. Snowfall, Season 6, Episode 3, Door of No Return. We open in Accra, Ghana, with tribal drums playing. Leon is dressed in African garb and meets up with a friend who mentions Wanda and the fact that she's still asleep after dancing last night. It would seem that he's made plenty of friends and connections while he's been in Africa for whatever amount of time.
Hey, so I'm sitting there watching it with my wife, right? And she like as soon as he asked where's Wanda, she like, oh no, Wanda, no, you better not be on that shit now. Like,
It
I was
was
like,
kind of, yeah, it was
y'all in
kind
a
of
foreign
weird.
country, and now and you just jugging around like y'all be gone without each other. You be waking up in the morning talking about where is Wanda? I mean, she should be right here. Like
Right.
we in Ghana.
Yo, that was nuts. I was kind of
Yeah,
like, okay, him not being with her while they're in Africa, like, I'm a little worried.
very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Wanda apparently is picking out souvenirs, and then Leon stops and notices a quote. I did not write down what that quote said because I was going to rewrite and see what it said, but apparently it
Something about don't
spoke.
run, don't be no sucker. That's what I took
Okay.
from it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Don't be no sucker.
Don't be no bitch ass bitch made nigga. Is that what
Yeah,
Jerome said? All right. Cool.
yeah.
Wanda seems to really enjoy herself and wants to stay. Leon is clearly struggling with the thought. Lee says he'll think about the decision because at the time he's like, fuck, I
Definitely
might
should
need to go
stay.
back.
It's definitely not even a decision. We're staying in Ghana. We might go back, every now and again, but like no, we're definitely staying here. Like it's not. What are we talking about? What is the
How he gonna help free his people if he in Ghana?
family? Family? What did you say? Stay in Ghana.
Fair enough.
Stay in Ghana. Ain't nothing back in Compton for you right now, but a whole bunch of bullshit as he's soon to see.
Fair enough. A man, or I don't know if he was their tourist guide, or I don't know who the hell this man was, but a friend of Leon's discusses the violence. Oh no! This is the tourist guide who was like walking them through some landmark that they were in, and he
Mhm.
discussed the violence that had reoccurred in a certain area that they
Oh,
were
it
in.
was the one of the ports in Ghana, the one of the famous like slave trade blocks where
Yeah,
they were kind of distributed through that point to go to their destinations.
facts. Okay. Leon seems to be struggling with many things from his past that sound all too familiar. The lookout on the beach when they got to the end of the tunnel, to me symbolized the fact that they have a view of peace at the end of a long road of their like personal struggles. I don't know. It just kind of felt symbolic that they got through this dirty like tunnel thing, and then at the end of it was like this really nice beach, and they were kind of looking out and viewing. So I just felt like that was just a view of peace at the end of their long struggles. So at the end of
Yeah,
this
I'm
long
not gonna
road.
lie to you. I ain't even gonna lie. That whole saga where they were going through there was like I was like, yo, what show did we just turn to? Like what just happened? Like and I get it. We were in Africa and Leon personally is going through his whole, spiritual arc and kind of realizing the errors of his ways earlier on in life. But man, if we didn't linger there for a long time, like it was you could feel it. I
Yeah,
just was not. I wasn't expecting that. So it was a little off putting. Um, but
off-putting.
yes,
Like
for sure.
you didn't really like it.
I wasn't expecting to have a history lesson, and I definitely
Sure.
wasn't expecting to have that be the topic for a good 15 minutes of the show.
Okay, now that's fair to not have expected it, but it was Leon's reintroduction into the show. So like,
So
and
yeah,
because
no,
they're
no, no. And,
away,
and
it
in
makes
that arc, it
sense.
was fine. I guess where I started to not necessarily take issue, but like notice that they were belaboring the point is the connection they try to draw back to what's going on in LA at the time. It's like, yeah, there is some there's some similarities there. There's the fact that the system itself was, kind of implanted through colonialism. Slavery didn't even look the way it did pre-colonialism,
Hmm.
right? In Africa. Um but similarly to drug use in lower income neighborhoods didn't look the same way prior to CIA intervention, prior into pumping tons and tons of cocaine into black neighborhoods across all of America,
Yeah.
right? So there's some similarity there. Where I'm starting to jump off is like Leon having this understanding that somehow because he sells drugs, he's akin to a slave master because and then not even just akin to a slave master, in some ways worse because if you show a slave freedom, they're going to take it at the first jump. But if you show a junkie salvation, they probably going to turn around and go right back to the rock. And it's like, yeah, no, that's fine, except for that whole free will and choice thing, where
I
they have an option not to come talk to your ass at all.
I
It's
hear
not
you.
really an option for the slave. You know what I
I hear
mean?
you. I can't ignore the blatant similarities, but I do hear you. It's not the same thing at the end of the day.
It's not a one-to-one comparison where he should feel like he's a slave master over even the people he sold drugs to. I don't have to see you. You can live in this neighborhood your entire life with me, and we don't ever have to interact. You don't
Yeah.
ever have to buy a single thing from me. So there's too much choice and opportunity in a drug interaction, even if it's that prevalent in your neighborhood, for it to be akin to slavery.
Yeah,
I kind of
it's
I,
not
I
one
kind
to
of
one
jumped off there.
for sure.
Yeah, I jumped off there.
That's fair. I thought the episode at this point was incredibly deep. At least for that beginning part, in a somewhat introspective way. I thought that Leon
Hmm.
was able to really progress through some of his past demons that have been plaguing him, even if he is comparing it a little harshly. But as someone who has also had to work through personal struggles to get to this point, I thought it was really dope that Wanda was there to be the companion while Lee kind of figured it out.
I thought Wanda's part in this episode was real interesting because they start out with her, and obviously she's loving Africa. She's feeling very comfortable, and she doesn't want to go, and she's kind of politicking to Lee to try to get him to stay. And at face value, at the beginning of that, it just seems like, hey yo, this seems like a perfect life for both of y'all. Both of y'all are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing at home for y'all to go get. Like she's right. Like she's right to push for it that adamantly. And then later on in the episode, it kind of adds some context as to why like what's behind that? Because at the end of the day, you are still leaving everything you know behind forever.
Yeah.
If you're going to live in Africa, you know what I mean?
It's
So it's
easier
like,
for Wanda though because she is already, and we'll talk about this a little later, obviously, but she's already damaged a lot of her relationships
and
and
that's my
things of that
point.
nature.
That's my point. The context of her feeling that way and feeling like, all right, fuck it, let's just go and stay in Africa has to do with the bridges that she's already burnt.
Oh
And
yeah,
then you're
yeah,
right,
yeah,
we'll see that,
yeah.
later on.
While on the trip,
Come on, Michigan. Come on, man.
oh
Come
gross,
on.
gross, gross, gross. While on the trip,
Down 7.
Leon and Wanda got married. Any
Yeah,
thoughts
they
on
did.
that? Any thoughts on that,
That was
Mister?
dope.
Mister just got married not too long ago.
Also, I just was out. Literally 2 weeks ago, I was at a Ghanaian wedding.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay, fair enough.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Shout out to Bodie and,
yeah,
and Chanel.
absolutely. Congrats. Leah and Wanda come back to listen to Four Eyes or whatever the fuck his name is, Calculator, the really smart kid
Oh
in the
yeah,
Crips.
homeboy. Yeah. He
Can't
got
remember
the
his name.
scoop. Man, he ain't just smart no more. He got all the gossip. You know what? All the movies.
He's smart about what's going on in America, not so smart about what's going on in Africa.
Yeah, no, that was some bullshit. I didn't even know. But I mean, you think in early '90s that was people's idea of Africa. So
Sure.
it's not exactly inaccurate. It's just for somebody who's that into math, you would at least think they have a little bit of social awareness outside of their own. But then again, there's no internet. Ain't no internet at that time. So anything that's happening in another country, shit, that's all word of mouth. It's literally all word of mouth.
Yeah, and he's in the hood, so it's I
know what I mean?
I guess. Lee asks why there are armed soldiers walking around everywhere in the hood. It seems that there have been a lot of killings going on in account of Franklin versus Louis and Jerome. Franklin almost apparently killed Big Dion, but the cops walked in.
Woo! Saved him. Saved him.
Yeah.
Almost hitting with the I don't want to say that. Never mind.
Go ahead, bro.
Anyway, nah.
You about to say something crazy.
Yeah, I'll be getting too many no disrespect, but a lot of ex-cons, they make content about being in jail and what it was like. They got a crazy ass name for a jail gun, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But that's what Dion almost got hit with. And that would have been sad. You would have went out like Elvis, bro, on the toilet. That's crazy.
Excruciating. All right.
She should have got it.
He should have.
But you definitely should have got it, because now they're confirming through the context of the writing that he did actually snitch on Black Diamond and what's the other shorty's name? Dallas and Black Diamond. Yeah, when they came in, it made a drop, which is nuts. Because I don't feel like he would have any reason to get in the middle of that. Even if Jerome pushed him, it's like, I don't have any reason to help you with this. Facts. He was saying all this shit before, right? He was, hey, look, man, I'm Switzerland. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all family squabble. I'm just trying to get paid. Who got the product? So everything seemed okay, and then, so now it seems like, through the context of the show, they're confirming that he did snitch.
Yeah, but only because he wanted to get that Tennessee from, Louis and Jerome, as opposed to getting it from Franklin, because apparently
they didn't have nothing to give. What no Tennessee to give him?
Sure, at the time.
And you got your drugs, and you paid the money. So it's like, no, Jerome got that back. And he probably slid it right back to Dion. Oh, nasty work.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Nasty work.
Something going on here. All right. Franklin has a seat at a really nice restaurant with Veronique and her scamming ass mama. They plan something for the next day at lunch. V and her mama were laughing at the beginning of that scene, and her mom thanks Franklin for bringing V back. Seems like something weird is going on, and Franklin's not involved. At least I thought.
Nah, I mean, that was the deal. You go get my money back, and we'll see about you coming back around. So, I mean, everything seems to be on the up and up so far. Now, he has to have a natural level of alarm bells going on just because he got a scamming ass mama around.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't find anything conspicuous about them having lunch together and him showing
Oh,
up.
no, no, no.
Something he was
But
invited to.
them being all buddy buddy, and then once Franklin shows up, they're like, oh, hey, what's up? She is teaching her daughter how to scam Franklin, and then
She
he's going to use
already
that.
taught her how.
All right, fair enough.
She got left in a jail in
Okay,
Cape
so then
Town
she's
for
not teaching her;
stealing it.
she is coaching her through this one.
I don't think that's what's happening. No, I mean, at least not right now. Not yet. We're gonna need some more evidence to see.
Okay. Louis took extra time to get to the drop because she wanted more time on the horse. Was there a second thing behind that I didn't catch?
Hey, yo, she's so comfortable. Like, bruh, y'all gonna have to give me Teddy or Louis at this point. Like, I would take Jerome, but even him, he done turned into such a simp, like a total like loser in these first couple of episodes.
Boy,
I don't even want him. You gonna have to give me Louis or Teddy. Teddy's so confident, he's swinging his shit. He telling people his name is Teddy. He's not even going by Reed anymore. He just telling motherfuckers his government. Shit, what you gonna do? Do something. I'm Teddy McDonald.
facts.
My daddy live in Kansas.
Yo,
They too confident for me. Way too confident for me.
fair enough. Looks like we got some comments that I've been missing. My dad said he hasn't seen the new Bel Air yet, so he's gonna skate out to watch Bel Air before we review it. William Moloch, he's never seen Snowfall, who streams it. My brother, Hulu streams it. And what do you know? We have a link for you to go ahead and check out Hulu.
Absolutely.
Because you gotta keep caught up on Snowfall. It's a really long link, but whatever. All right. So, anyways, DEA Tony was also on the scene when it came to the drop, taking pictures of the drop, which they're going to close in on fucking Teddy anytime now. Time's a ticking.
Yeah, they about to
Time's
get swept up in that shit. Swept up. And it's just so funny, man, because you fought your way there so hard, tooth and nail against your family, controversy be damned, and you right in the middle of the hairs of a federal investigation that involves a CIA agent.
Facts.
You gonna be part of one of the biggest scandals ever? You ain't ever getting away.
That's a fact.
He's about to be Akon in a minute.
That is a fact. Oso tells Teddy that the deal went well, which she was late, so it didn't go that well. Teddy tells Oso to be available at 3 in the morning to go to Costa Rica for a day or two. Out of nowhere.
Fam?
Teddy, I'm not going with you anywhere.
I got my son got a recital or something.
Teddy, I'm calling off.
Yeah, I ain't
I'm
got
using
this to
PTO, Teddy. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, no, thank you. No mas, senor.
Absolutely. Lee pulls up on Big Dion. Big Dion's game that he was playing went to game over as Leon walked into the room. You gotta notice these things.
Yeah, man, they seem to be sending us subtle messages that Leon's going to end up taking back over, which I don't want for him. I want my nigga to get back on a plane with Wanda and head back to Africa and live the rest of his life. That's what I want to happen. But it just seems like they're setting the building blocks for it to be a Return of the King kind of arc for Leon versus Dion, who's letting the projects run into the ground. He don't give a damn about the people. You know what I'm saying? It's bad out, and he feels like he owes everybody to make it as good as he can while he's there, which is I guess it's honorable, but at the same time you just kind of see the building blocks for this man's demise, which I don't want to see.
For sure. Franklin is jealous and tried to. Dion told Leon that he thinks Franklin is jealous, and then he tried to kill him because he saw his shoes.
Nigga, what? So why are you lying now? See that? So that's what I'm on. Like, all right, the play is obvious, and once it blew up, bro. Like, you got to stand on it now. Don't try to play. Why are you lying? Because Lee. If Lee found out that you tried to set up Franklin, It's problems. It's bad.
Oh, big problems.
It's bad. So like, come on, bro. Stand on it.
Facts.
Stand on it. Nah, he fake. Oh no. You see, I'm getting money over here, so he mad at me. Shut up.
But no, that's not it.
Shut up.
Not it.
You see, I'm getting his money over here.
Dion asks if Leon wants to work for him. No. Fuck no.
Would you want to work for me? No, nigga.
No, give me my spot back. You're sitting in my chair. What are you talking about? And then he says, as long as Leon plays his role, they're good.
He told him to stay in his lane.
I thought
He said, oh, retired nigga. He said, oh, retired nigga, sit your ass down somewhere. Go back to Africa.
Okay. All right. All right. Teddy loads up a rifle while Big Boss is talking. I thought that was nuts. Oso wants to talk to DEA Tony. However, Oso can't give Tony any info because Teddy didn't give him any info.
He said we're going to Costa Rica and that's it. Why you keep asking me stuff? You stressing me out, okay? All right? I don't like this. Just take the information you got.
Tony tells him that since the DEA has the pics of Louis, they plan on moving on Teddy's spot. So they will need to be back from Costa Rica to arrest Teddy. Meanwhile, KGB man is taking pictures now.
Yo, it's all mixed up in there. Like everybody watching everybody. The FBI and the DEA are watching Teddy. Teddy is trying to find out who's on his ass, which is the KGB. Now the KGB knows that the DEA is watching the CIA. It's a whole cluster.
Yeah.
It's the FBI chasing the CIA, chasing the KGB, chasing the CIA.
It's a crazy way of checks and balances.
Imagine being a college dropout to go home and end up in this shit within 10 years. Within a decade.
Facts. All right.
He had no business being in any of this shit. He had no business. Wanda says it perfectly. She says it perfectly once everything settles down and they're in the room together. She's like, hood rats out here with millions of dollars in Uzis. None of this shit ever made sense. That is Snowfall in a nutshell.
It is. But it all really happened. It's not like this
crack epidemic in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Submachine guns and millions of dollars of cash in the projects. None of this shit ever made a lick of sense. War on drugs, baby. War on drugs. For
extremely young people, mind you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Teddy and Oso make it to Costa Rica. Teddy lays down the plans while Oso translates. I hated all of the Costa Rica scenes because, honestly, I was not paying attention. So,
this is the first time in a while we're getting a little loose with the execution a little bit because Teddy walks in.
Mm-hmm.
The guy says something in English.
Yes.
Oso translates. And then the guy says something in English. Yeah. Like, okay, so how much English do you know? Did he even know a little bit? This? Yeah, what's up? What's up? Because that ain't like that. Yikes. Ain't like that at all.
Shout out to Breck Warren. He needs to get caught up. He is a whole season behind. Family.
On Snowfall? What's going on?
Hulu.
All kind of spoilers.
Hulu. Go ahead and check it out on Hulu. Actually, I just realized I'm sending links from my own personal into the live. But the link is our link, nonetheless. Anyway, Wanda pulls up on Grandma. Grandma is expecting Wanda to want something.
Yeah, Buffkin?
Okay.
My bad, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. We up one.
Wanda pulls up on Grandma. Grandma expects Wanda to want something. Already throwing tons of shade to Wanda.
Yo, I knew as soon as she held that door, I was like, oh, Wanda robbed her.
Well, here's
Wanda
the thing.
stole her VCR, all her good plates that sit up there in that glass case that sit across from the dining room table, and she came home and threw up all over the plaster cupboard furniture in the living room. She did all of that shit in one night, and her grandma swore she would never let that devil back in her house.
Well, that's the thing. Because the last time Grandma saw Wanda, Wanda said, and I quote, I'm leaving here with something. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with some. Hey, you know what she sound like? She sound like damn Denzel Washington. I don't know if you've seen that clip.
That's I'm leaving here with
I'm from
something.
around the way. I'm leaving here with something. Yo.
Yes, that's
She said
exactly.
the last time I seen you, you cussed me, you hit me, you stole from me, and you cursed me to God.
Like, fam.
Hey, Cracker, how you doing some wild shit?
You know? And she just
You go from
forgot about
begging
it.
and pleading and pouring your heart out, saying you would do any and anything to you was a bitch ass nigga. I'll beat your ass if I could have. I'm gonna rob you the next time I see you, you low down mother lover.
Yo, gang banging on grandma is nuts.
Yo, no, you'll turn in. You'll go from a simp to a killer in 2 seconds if you don't get that work. You know?
That's a fact. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
He was probably in there like, please, Grandma, just let me have the plates. Just let me have them, Grandma, please.
Yo.
God damn it, move out the way, old lady.
Not her commemorative good times plates. Anyway. All right. William Moloch. This is the first live I've caught. Well, shout out to you, my friend. I'm glad you could make it. Wendy Lee. Granny been through too much. She was a horrible addict. Wanda was a terrible addict. Wanda was the lowest of the low. That is a fact.
He was out here singing the ABCs on dudes for crack. So it wasn't good.
The redemption story, though, mwah.
Crazy. They walked us through every step.
Facts. Do you think that will Wanda go back to drugs? According to Nathan Moore, he wants to know.
I hope not. And I don't think we have enough time for that unless she's just gonna like go out that way.
I already told you. I think she's getting capped. So that's my prediction. Big Dion
I think Lee gets her out to Africa, but I don't think he goes. I think he stays.
It's possible.
And tries to clean up all this stuff with Dion and probably doesn't make it out of that.
For those who don't know and haven't been in our previous live, my prediction is that something tragic is going to happen amongst Wanda and Leon. One of them or both of them is getting killed by the end of the season. I don't want to see it, but it's probably going to happen. The Dre Mac Show said, "What up, fam?
What up, Mac?
What up, my guy?" Wendy Lee, I felt bad for Wanda because it's going to be a long way back to gain trust again. That is the life of an addict, unfortunately, and she knows.
Yeah, and it's like the stuff that you did when you was on it. They're not required to forgive you because you're sober now. Yeah. And that's what I was getting at. It's like Wanda's comfortable going off, staying in Africa, starting a new life. She was saying it, right? We can be whoever we want to be here. We away from our past. We away from people chasing us. I'm away from the pimps. Like, I'm good here. Like, I don't have to worry about my past here. I can be who I want to be. And this is part of it. This is the context, because back home, all the people she cares about most don't have nothing to do with her because of who she was.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, shoot. The poll is going towards yes now. I don't know if I should just put on the win or not. Anyway.
You know, people love to see a car wreck.
Yikes. Wendy agrees with you. So thank you for that for that scripture right there. Anyway. Franklin and V are in a limo to meet up with Sissy. Seems like the West Side development is actually still happening. I believe last live, I wasn't sure if that was still happening, but it seems like it's...
Hey, yo, imagine ordering hits every weekend and then just popping out during the week unveiling development projects.
No, that happens. That probably happens all the time.
You're right.
You're right. People.
You're absolutely right. But it's just seeing it in real life. It's like, yo, you kill niggas at night and then go break ground in the morning, huh? That is nuts.
Oh my God.
It's nuts.
My God. The Kennedys were started from Prohibition. They were fucking gangsters.
Dog. The Clintons was catching packs through freighter planes come flying over Arkansas. Had dead drops right over Arkansas and an exact spot where you know, the former president's family used to live, but you know.
Speaking of
presidents, that's another story for another day.
Kicked Mexicans and black people out of his buildings. Another piece
Hey,
of shit.
compared to some of these other presidential families, the Trumps are minuscule. Minuscule.
Uh, he stole documents from the one.
The Kennedys, the Clintons, the Bushes.
No. They're all pretty bad. I'll be
Yeah,
fair in
they're
saying
worse
that.
than the Trumps for sure.
I feel like I look like I'm glitching. I feel like a video game glitching right now. That's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on with my webcam. Anyway, Leon pulls up to bring a gift to Jerome and Louis. Oh my God, this scene.
Jerome is in the house.
He gets checked and frisked upon arrival. Jerome and Louis seem upset because he dipped to Africa. Jerome tells
Yo, fam,
Leon,
like, hold on, bro. I have been gone. I haven't been here when any of this shit went down. I wasn't here for the wedding, right? So long before y'all even started all of this shit, before anything happened, before you stole the plug from Franklin, before Franklin tried to get out of the game, before any of this beef started happening, before y'all started shooting at each other, I have been in Africa. Okay? I had nothing to do with this. When I left, we was cool.
yeah.
Where's all this Anna coming from?
Yeah, and the Anna became a lot worse when Jerome flat out told Leon that he ain't family and then denied his gift from Africa. Oh shit.
Hey, yo.
Oh
Yes.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Jerome is acting like a ho, y'all. He really is. It's sad to see him go like this, simping for his wife who has set them up for a tragic end. Like, their end is going to be so catastrophic. If it's anything less than them having to turn state witness and taking a 10 to 15 year bid to cooperate against Teddy, I'm out. I'm gonna say that the Snowfall ending was a flop because the way that they're moving right now is reckless. It's reckless.
I
It's
thought we said
selfish.
as long as Teddy gets capped.
Mm-mm.
No? So
Mm-mm.
okay.
Because this is before I seen the later half,
All right.
the last two episodes of season 5,
Fair
and the beginning parts of season 6. Because now what we're seeing is that it's clear now. There's no in between. Their motivation is supremacy.
Yes.
It's not safety. It's not having decisions over what happens. No. It's none of that. They are not running their business any more efficiently than what Franklin was.
Yeah.
In fact, you kind of just cut the line because you took Franklin's plug. You didn't have to do anything to climb.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin met Reed off the back of him already booming.
Mm-hmm.
Reed kidnapped Franklin because he popped up on his radar.
Yes. Yep.
All backdoored Franklin for a resource.
Yeah. Facts.
So you so thirsty to be the big dog for supremacy, you skipping steps, which means you're reckless. And you're burning bridges along the way. And you hot. Man, oh my goodness.
Bodies are dropping everywhere around the both of them.
Everywhere, fam. Everywhere. First of all, how has Homeboy not got done in yet? The fake policeman.
He's not fake. He is unofficially retired.
He's a fake cop at this point.
He is dishonorably.
He's a fake cop.
He is honorably discharged from the police force.
Did I hear correctly? Did Kane get shot?
No.
I feel like they said Kane got hit at a drive-through. So Kane hit D.
Got killed.
And then they said they
shot
hit Kane
originally.
back at a car wash, not drive-through, a car wash.
Oh no, that wasn't Kane. At the car wash? No, that wasn't Kane.
It didn't look like him, but I swear they said his name.
Kane did get shot, but that's why he's in the hospital. So
No. So what happened? They hit D, being Kane hit D, and then D hit somebody in a car wash.
It might have been one of Kane's people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I know what you mean. Yeah. I think it was probably one of Kane's people. All right, we got some comments. Wendy Lee, do y'all trust Veronique and her mama? Fuck no. Hell no.
Josh doesn't. Here's my thing though, is like, unless they planning on just disappearing altogether, changing their name, relocating, and taking the child, the split from Franklin or robbing him or anything like that gets very complicated because the child is still there. Not to mention he's a resourceful guy. So it's like he knows a lot about y'all, like real shit. Or he doesn't. It could be lying. This could be the longest long play that we could have imagined on Franklin and the scammer. It could be like I'm gonna get pregnant long play.
That's nuts. Oh, that's not that nuts. That's a pretty normal long play, actually. Now I think about it.
Well, I mean, in a more of a short term scheme, it's more of a common play.
Yeah.
But thinking about robbing a man of his millions and still having a little bit of protection on your back in the form of what's growing in your womb, that's a long play.
Fair
That's a
enough.
long play. Hey, yo. Well, no. Never mind. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I
Yikes.
was gonna say, what if Veronique stole the money? Because if you notice when she was telling him what all they would have to do, somebody was gonna have to impersonate him at a bank. Not only
Yeah.
were they gonna have to forge his signature, but somebody
That's
was
what the
gonna have to
mom
walk
said.
into a bank and
Yeah.
impersonate him.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
But I
yeah,
thought she
that's
was alluding. She was alluding to Teddy having somebody have done that.
sure she was.
Yeah.
But if I know that's the case, wouldn't it be the icing on the cake if my pregnant wife showed up with the imposter as well while he's impersonating me? Wouldn't that just be the icing on the cake to have my real life wife there with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? To kind of drive it home. So like, if she's getting paid for it, scammers only need a check.
Facts. This is facts. I like this. The chat is popping right now. We got comments on top of comments. Keep them coming.
Yes,
Let's see.
yes.
Let me go back before I give Wendy my thoughts on V. Well, let me just say I don't trust V whatsoever. I think V at some point is going to run off on not only Franklin but her mama. It might just be Franklin, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Feon00, who was here for the last live, says the beginning of this episode was dope, and Wanda looked immaculate in Africa and African garb. Her grandma
Mhm.
interaction may sway her back to the pipe, though. I don't want that to happen. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's just kind of reinforcing her original thoughts, which is there's really nothing here for me in LA. I want to go back to Africa. I think it's just really going to drive back the point that like we need to get out of here. We need to go back to where we was feeling better at because it's nothing here.
Yeah, yep. Demarcus Vaughn says, do y'all think Franklin Saint would have worked with Ruben, a.k.a. KGB Man, if Franklin knew that KGB Man killed Avi? It's a really good question.
No,
I don't think he would, though.
and he said that. So I don't even know if we got to this point in the episode, but when he was talking to Lee at
We
the
have
end,
not.
okay,
We only got a couple
he kind
points
of
more.
brings that. He reassures the point that like, yeah, he didn't really know what happened to him, but he's pretty sure he's dead. So I would say no because he was already he was weary about working with dude in the first place, right? Like CC had to pull his whole card for him to even work with dude. So no, I would say no if he knew that he killed Avi
I would agree.
and
I
like
would
Avi too, right? Like if he knew he told Avi, you just give me all your information and I'll set you free. Nah,
Yeah,
nah.
I agree. Let's see here. By the way, Demarcus Vaughn is a frequent commenter, so shout out to him. Nathan Moore says, Louis and Jerome are my favorite characters on the show. I like Jerome, if you haven't noticed by the wig that I wear sometimes. Anyway, I
Jerome
absolutely...
was one of my favorites before
Well, yeah,
this season.
until he became a hoe. Anyway, I absolutely hate Franklin. I guess I'll stay quiet until I get to Bel Air. You can't hate the protagonist.
Hey,
You can't hate the main guy.
no, you absolutely can, but what you can't deny is he's the boss, and you wouldn't even have an opportunity to love Jerome or Louis without Franklin. Louis was a strung out hooker for lack of a better designation,
Yes.
and Jerome was selling dirt weed from the dining room table,
That's a fact.
and then in walks their smart nephew with a brand new thing to hit
A
the
smart and
streets
very
and make the
ambitious
millionaire.
nephew. Yes, for sure.
Franklin is definitely did some dastardly stuff. Like
He grew
he's
into
not
it though.
clean at
They
all.
gave him a nice actual progression. It wasn't like he he went from Homeboy giving it to Homeboy in the first season to I'm a gangster now. Pow 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 pow. Like he
No,
grew into this.
the progression has been very key for this character, but we can still see along the way where he's made clear, conscious decisions to just to kill people flat out to advance himself. So it's not all roses over there. But the one thing that cannot be denied is that the leveling up that he did for everyone else around him in this show, it can't be denied by anybody, by anyone, not by Leon, not by Jerome, not by Louis. No one who is around long enough to criticize Franklin can say that they aren't there because of him.
Yeah,
it's just a fact. And he didn't have to take a single one of them with him. Maybe Lee, because Lee caught the first body for him, right? Everybody else, what did he need Louis for? Seriously, yep. And Louis left. Louis left the whole thing after they got up and running. Wanted to go be with Claudia.
For sure.
Right? And if it wasn't for Franklin, she probably would have went to jail.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Everybody's up because of Franklin.
Yo,
so
come
literally
on,
nobody
yo.
in the show should hate Franklin.
I know it's very easy to hate on Franklin. Or not even hate on him. It's very easy to criticize him.
Okay.
It is
easy to criticize him.
It's easy to criticize him because there's a lot to criticize there. What I'm not understanding is the Franklin used us. Fam, he used you to make you rich?
Facts.
Use you for what? For what exactly, Jerome?
Mm-hmm. Chillmonger is in the chat. He says Americans.
What up, Chill?
Americans. He says Americans. Effion also says, I also think Teddy going to find out Oso is working for the DEA. I think that his demise is coming real soon.
You know what though?
He will find out.
I think he's too paranoid about this KGB thing now that he's gonna let it slip right under his nose. He's not thinking about local law enforcement right now. So anything that could be popping up in his radar, he would have to be looking for it at a localized level, at an FBI type of level. He's CIA. He's not worried CIA. About other departments coming after him.
We're talking about the DEA. Not
DEA. Sorry. DEA.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm just saying,
is the DEA any more of a higher tier than the FBI? Really, it's just a different branch. So I'm saying he's CIA.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about any type of cop coming after him. So that whole thing with Oso is really kind of brilliant because naturally, any other time when things are better for Teddy and he doesn't have his antennas up necessarily, or he's not on guard, that would probably be an easy spot because he'd be doing all the weird shit that he usually do with Oso. He'd probably be following him home and trying to see what he's doing in his spare time because he's a weirdo, right? He doesn't have time for that because the KGB is on his ass. So I think Oso and the DEA's thing might slip right under his nose and he won't realize it until it's too late.
Big facts. Did Franklin definitely married Veronique, or because I feel like that was during the all right. I couldn't remember if they had married or not. I don't know. I felt like that was maybe during the time. I don't think so either though. I don't know.
I think that was part of their conversation when they found out she was pregnant. It's like when they was gonna get married and when he was supposed to be getting out and all this other stuff.
Right. I agree with that. Once Leon dies, Wanda will relapse. Yeah, that's probably the case. If that happens,
don't do that to Wanda. Y'all.
I don't know if Leon's gonna die though. I don't know if Leon's gonna die, but he might. But I don't know. Anyway, let's see. My favorite characters in Snowfall is Manboy and Queen Louie. Louie's not a queen. Louie is a scammer. She is. She's ambitious beyond her resources.
Louis. I understand why people like Louie because she's ambitious. I think she's ambitious beyond her means, but she's ambitious. She's going after what she wants, but she's made some missteps that if it were Franklin who would have taken those steps, if Franklin would have taken a step to cut out Louie and Jerome in any kind of way, we'd be looking at Jerome crazy.
Yes.
Right? If Jerome and Louie would have come to Franklin about Reed stealing their money, and Franklin turns them away and says it's not my problem, then Franklin really is a bitch-made scandalous nigga, right? Just like Jerome said.
Yes.
Just like Jerome said.
For sure.
But the problem with that is when we flip it around and it's Louis who's making those decisions, she just gets to slap, oh, we're making decisions for us over it, and it makes it okay. No, it's just as bad. Because you're choosing the op over family.
For
Right?
sure.
And if that's what we doing, then we not on the same side. You chose up. You chose up. You did. You chose Reed. Cool. If you over there, I hope you don't get hit.
Fair enough. Tony Robinson, what up? Let's see.
What up, Tony Rob?
Plot twist, I think Queen Louie will give up Teddy to save herself. I
She
think that's a
better.
possibility. Yeah.
She better. It's
Yeah,
her
I think
only
that's in the cards.
option. She better.
I think that's in the cards.
And you know what's so crazy is that it's going to take some sort of federal investigation to move her towards doing that instead of her nephew coming to her. Her nephew, who she expected so much more from, who she was so hurt by from the fact that he pulled a gun on her. But if you'd have worked with the man, you wouldn't have had to been forced to give up Teddy for no federal investigation.
That's a fact.
So I actually do think that is how that it will go. She'll end up turning state witness once the DEA moves in on her.
We'll have to see.
And, you know, that's
if
how
she
that'll
doesn't
go.
get capped.
If Franklin don't find her first.
You know? Okay. A lot of man boy love in the chat. And which rightfully so, he was a really good character.
He was a good kid.
And then finally, Effion says, does Teddy know the KGB is on him, though, or is he still trying to find out? He knows that somebody is on him, and he knows what bro looks like, but he doesn't know that it's specifically the KGB yet.
No, he does. He does know. At the end of this episode, after they collect all of the stuff, he swore up and down he needed
Jesus
somebody
Christ.
alive.
I literally had that written in the next thing.
Yeah, he goes through everybody's stuff. He finds that screw with a note in it. I was like, first of all, he's just lucky as hell. Because what, fam? You ain't never seen no shit like that in your life. Why would you know to unscrew a screw?
Right.
What are we talking about? So yeah, he finds some kind of KGB message or something written on a piece of paper that lets him know it's KGB.
Yeah.
And so he knows that's who is trying to intercept the shipments in Costa Rica, and he also knows that the guy back in LA who, you know, was chasing Marissa and
Parissa.
you know, been talking to Frank. Marissa.
Parissa with a P.
Whatever that weird girl's
Pushing
name
P.
is. Rissa. We're gonna call her Rissa.
Parissa. Pushing P.
Rissa. But yeah, so he knows it's KGB, so now he probably knows that guy is KGB.
Yeah. No, you're right. I literally wrote at the end, that is until he pulls a paper out of a screw with Russian writing, the KGB. Anyway, Nathan Moore says, I got to get back in here. Y'all know if it was Franklin in their position, he would have told them. It's business, man. And then Chillmonger laughs at Rissa.
We'll call her Rissa.
All right, let's wrap this up. I got 2 more points. Leon meets with Franklin. His spot is fucked. His crib is fucked because of Louis and Jerome. Leon talks about Africa and mentions that Avi talked about violence for freedom. He said another word, but I can't remember what it was. But Avi talked about like the people using violence to gain their independence, their freedom. Mm-hmm. Franklin informs him that Avi died in the warehouse, which because that was Leon.
Yeah, man. So he definitely doesn't know Homeboy was involved, and I feel like that could play into how this all, because man, there are so many threads right now, right? There are so many people who have their aim on each other. It's a true, I don't know if this is offensive or not. So many agencies
with their aim
on each other. True Mexican standoff.
Yes.
Like, sure, everybody's pointing at everybody. It's like that episode of The Office with Pam and Michael and Andy.
Facts.
It like for real. Everybody pointing at each other, just waiting for somebody to flinch.
Yeah, facts. Franklin then informs Leon that if he plans on staying in the city, that he needs to pick a side. Otherwise, he needs to take his wife and his bitch ass back to Africa.
That's not what he
said.
said.
He said it verbatim.
That's not what he said. I mean, I you know which one I would choose for Leon. I would definitely choose the latter, But it's seeming like he's setting up to take the former. And oh yeah, that's Jet Howard, boy. That's Jet
Hey,
Howard.
yo,
Ty
there's
ball
so
game.
many people in the chat that have no idea what just happened with you.
I know, y'all. Michigan
Mans has
is
Tourette's.
tied up with Illinois. We're fighting for our playoff lives, our bracket lives right now. I'm sorry.
He cares so little about the live at hand that he decided to watch a basketball game while he does it.
No, man, it's coinciding tonight. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Leon and Franklin.
Leon and Franklin. He needs to go to Africa. Is what he needs to do.
Yes.
But he's not going to. Because of what's happening with Franklin and Jerome and Louis, because he sees how Dion is taking over in the state of affairs in the projects, he already felt the pressure all the way in Africa and from Ghana. He felt the pressure to come home. So now seeing the state of affairs is only going to exacerbate that, and he's going to stay. My only hope is that he first sends Wanda back first, get her out of the way to keep her safe. You stay back to field, do whatever it is you feel like you need to do, but please make it the hell out of here.
Yes.
Please make it out of here. Like we know somehow, some way, Franklin's at least going to live. Right? Because we know Freeway Rick Ross, and then a rapper is going to steal his identity 20 years later. But we know he lives. We don't know what's going to happen with Veronique and her mother. Teddy is probably either going to end up on the run or dead. I don't think he makes it to jail. None of those guys end up going to jail. None of those CIA guys end up going to jail. So he's either going to end up on a bad end of a gun or 6
feet under.
You know. Yeah, or no, that's the bad end of a gun. Or on the run somewhere with Rissa.
Ew.
Yeah.
On the run with Freak League. Anyway, Leader says, "Sup, Josh and Marcus, loving your live stream. Leader is a huge supporter of the channel, so shout out to your boy Leader." Chillmonger says, "Who is he supposed to cheer for? The Lakers?" Actually, the Lakers made their way out of 13th, so there's something to cheer for.
I was about to say we on the way up, so you might be eating them words in a little bit. Relax.
William Moloch is a Pelicans fan, which Marcus was also a Pelicans fan by way of all of the players that left the Lakers to go to the Pelicans were around there. That was funny. You did like them.
Hey, but no, are you from New Orleans? If you from New Orleans, shout out to Cafe Beignet.
Tap in, because we need a plug to ship food up.
For sure. Way. If you can just man, you send me them beignets, I might send you our super chat money for the month.
Yo, speaking of super chat, DeMarcus Vaughn sent $5 and said, "Dope live stream. Keep bringing that dope content, fellows." Fire
Appreciate
emoji.
You, my boy.
Fire emoji. All right. Wendy Lee agreed with you at some point during your incoherent ramblings. Aiden Lawson says, "On the run with Parissa may be a fate worse than death." Yes, because she's likely to kill you because that is her kink. She will probably choke you to death as she's, doing the do. Throwing that out there. Leighton Hale, my father, says that the survey seems that they want you to put that cap back on your head. Should I put the wig on at least to cover episode 4?
Hey, bro, you grown, bro. Do what you gotta do. Michigan went to overtime. We got 5 extra minutes. Back-to-back games.
Oh, I got a tag in here, too? Oh, my God. Let's get a receipt in my hair. Oh, that was actual paper. I don't know where that came from. Not embarrassed, though, because I look great. I look amazing.
Thanks. You might as well do all the Bel Air on it now.
Yeah. Anyway. William Moloch, I'm from Louisiana, but after I got my master's, I moved up to Delaware. Look, we still need the New Orleans plug.
Damn.
We still need the food plug. So
New Orleans to Delaware?
That is a crazy move.
Fam, you must hate the food. You must hate the food. No, I couldn't imagine living in I was in New Orleans for 4 days last month. And just being there for that short amount of time. I couldn't imagine eating like that and then moving to Delaware. So much mayonnaise. It had to be so much mayonnaise up there.
They're on the coast, so they got some. What do they got? What do they got?
I
What's
guess
that
they can
soup
still
out
do
there
some fresh
that they always
seafood,
do?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like it can't be the same. It can't be.
At all. At all. Demarcus Vaughn says Franklin Saint might need to kidnap Parissa to get Teddy because she is Teddy's weakness.
Ooh.
And that is a fact.
I don't think he knows about Parissa, and he does have his he has that ex vet contact through his dad looking in on some more stuff from Teddy. Oh, Teddy for sure ain't looking for no scraggly private eye looking after him. You know what I'm saying? Walking up and down the street looking for him. He's definitely not looking for that guy.
Fact.
So if he sees him in Parissa, you are definitely right. You may have something there.
That is a fact. Leader said that wig got you looking like Paperboy from Atlanta.
Paperboy.
Gotta get that paper
All
boy.
about that paper boy.
Or Big Worm. Damn, Leader. Okay, I feel it.
Big Worm.
William Moloch says he cooks his own food. He says his gumbo is fire. He says his gator bites is fire. He got the fire beignets at the crib. So drop him a line whenever you want him to ship through the food. You know what I'm saying? He is the food player.
Bruh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't have me harassing you for beignets.
Yikes.
If y'all didn't hear me describing beignets when I came back from New Orleans, man, it's like, what did I say? It's like a pancake and a funnel cake.
Yes.
With honey, and it's completely covered in powdered sugar, and they about this big.
I've yet to have one because I didn't get one when I went down there.
Things I didn't know things taste like that before a beignet.
Yeah. All right, episode 4. What is the name of episode 4? Oh, Projects Boy. All right, Snowfall season 6, episode 4, Projects Boy. Franklin is forced back onto the street while Veronique and Cassandra pursue his stolen money. Leon and Big D clash. Teddy starts hunting his KGB counterpart.
Yeah, okay, so the first thing about the money, that was the plan. That was literally the plan for Veronique and her mother to go get the money. Like that was what was supposed to happen. So we're really not gonna know if they up to something shady until maybe until it's too late.
All right,
we're not gonna know until the last minute.
I agree with that, but I don't know that.
Leon and Big D.
They're going.
That's obvious.
That
was obvious.
Said that
and it's probably going to spark when he finds out that D set up Black Diamond.
Here's the thing, though. In the trailer, I believe there was like somebody was shooting through. I don't know if it was Leon's house, but all you see is Franklin hit the ground in the house.
Yeah.
And then I think somebody else is there with him. I don't know if it was Leon or not, but somebody's shooting at Franklin and probably Leon.
Somebody, Louie and Jerome, just sent over there. So it seems like they're going to just go ahead and make the decision for Leon to shoot at him.
It's something going down. And I believe I remember Teddy talking to Parissa about something. Maybe about them leaving, I think.
Yeah, he was like, hey, if I got to run, you going to come with me?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Because, hey, look, killing black people and Costa Ricans, that's fine. But he's like me from Russia. So can you come with me? Like, I'm about to leave. I'm about to get up out of here.
I'm out, bruh. Come on with me. Let's go to Africa. I heard it's great this time of year.
From a communist country, I don't want no parts. Get me out of here.
Let's go to Ghana.
You coming or what?
Let's go to Ghana. It sounds great this time of year.
Oh my God.
Any other thoughts on Snowfall Season 6, Episode 3? We are only 7 more episodes left.
Yeah, that was fast, right? We're a third through the season already.
Any other thoughts?
That's it for me, man. I guess I can do a quick little cutout for the rewatch, folks. What you taking that off for, bruh?
We're moving on to Bel Air.
I told you to wear it all the way through Bel Air, bro. Why you just gonna put it on for season?
There's nobody with this style in Bel Air, despite it being LA.
No, no. Um, can you give
No,
me 2 minutes?
no. Why am I giving you 2 minutes?
2 minutes, folks. I have a little one in the next room. I need to go peek in. Two
Why am I
minutes.
giving you 2 minutes?
Oh, I think I just explained it. Be right back.
He can watch himself. The chat can't watch themselves, bro. You're gonna leave the chat unattended. Oh, he just left the chat unattended. Hey, yo, what's up? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I know I look like a glitchy ass video game. I don't know what's going on with my background today. Apparently, my webcam's super shitty. What's going on? Josh got the fresh fade. This fade is super faded. It is not fresh anymore. But you know, it looks alright though. I appreciate you, my guy. My guy, Leader. Leader, shout out to you, bro. I see you in the comments putting in heavy work for the squad. I appreciate that. I'm sure Marcus appreciates that, but he does not appreciate it more than the basketball game he was watching, and he doesn't appreciate it more than obviously what he needs to take care of currently. But just know we appreciate you, fam. Anyway, does anybody else have any questions in the chat about Snowfall? Because we are about to go into Bel Air. I've got plenty of jokes for Bel Air. If you have seen the most recent episode, episode 2, it is on Peacock. I do not have a link for it. But once again, I do have a link for Hulu. So I just dropped it from my personal SJTG. If you need to see Snowfall, if you need to see last season, if you need to see this current season, the link is in the chat right now to go ahead and get subscribed to Hulu so that you can catch up and watch the episodes with us. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple. It's just easy. Just click the link. You feel me? Let's see. My father also called me Big Worm. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Let's see. Leader says, I seriously love your channel and only channel I watch religiously. William Moloch, is the name Snowfall a reference to drugs? No, it is a reference to the frequent snowfall in LA, actually. You know, LA is actually known for the amount of snow that they get. I'm being an asshole, but yes, it is definitely a reference to drugs. It's absolutely a reference to cocaine. So, all right. Any other questions? Any other questions for Snowfall before we get into Bel Air? Once Marcus shows back up, he just kind of dipped on me. We got 17 people in here right now. Look, shout out to y'all. It's growing. I'm happy that this is growing. I'm happy we're getting much more engagement. I can use as many comments and questions about the show, about us, about Bel Air as you got. So make sure to bring them through because I am up here like a stand-up comedian with no jokes right now. I am struggling to come up with something to say. But the chain looking icy, I know. It's fresh. It's clearly fresh. All right. Do y'all see Scully coming after Leon for the murder of his daughter? No, actually. No, I don't actually, because Scully seems to have completely forgiven everybody. He seems to be going this spiritual epiphany, and honestly, I really believe that he's undergoing that. That's not like any kind of facade. That's really who Scully is, and I think he's forgiven everybody. When you lose that many close people to you right away like that, you got to react somehow, and I feel like this is his honest reaction to that. So I think at this point he's probably forgiven Leon. That is tough to say though because he hasn't seen Leon in quite some time. So we'll see, but I don't think he is going to want vengeance against Leon.
Who we talking about?
We're not talking about you and your basketball game that you just went to watch.
That's not what happened. It's sitting right here on my phone. I didn't need to go anywhere to watch it.
Okay. DeMarcus Vaughn says, do y'all see Scully coming after Leon for the murder of his daughter? I said no, because it does seem like he's really gone through a spiritual epiphany. He has forgiven whatever happened from that.
And honestly, him kind of giving up Khadijah, wasn't that her name, Khadijah?
His girl was Khadijah, his girlfriend.
Khadijah. Him giving her up kind of confirmed that. Like, yeah, I'm I'm cool on it. After that, like if I like you killed my daughter, but then I kind of like just gave up on my girl. Like after you killed her, it was over with. So I think it's the he showed up to the wedding.
Yeah, yeah. He also brought gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Chillmonger says, "What is a Bel Air thing that they have yet to do from Fresh Prince? I want to see Ashley singing 'Playing with My Mind.'" That is not going to happen because this Ashley is completely different. Chillmonger. William Moloch says, "I don't see a link in the chat for Hulu. Look again because I actually put Hulu with it. It's that short link with FXO on it. That is the link to Hulu. Check it out. Can you see Leon and Scully working together now? That's a little different. I feel like that's. I don't know if I see.
I
That.
mean, they seem to be on the same type of attitude, right? Like Leon definitely seems like he's of the same mindset of Scully of, more peace and not having a war through the neighborhood and all of that.
I will throw this in there though. Scully is probably definitely going to be on Jerome and Louis' side. Leon is yet to pick a side. If he did, for whatever reason, pick Louis and Jerome,
I
it's
don't
game
think
over
he's,
for Franklin.
but that's my thing. Like, I think he's really on what Leon's on. He's not trying to be in the middle of this shit. He's not trying to fight.
Yes.
So he might not. Yeah, okay. If I had to say, if he had to pick, he'd probably lean towards Louis and Jerome. But that don't mean he gonna go pick up guns and lose drop bodies over Louis and Jerome. Not now,
Fair
at
enough.
least.
Fair enough. All right. Is Will Smith and Alfonso making an appearance on Bel Air? Alfonso will probably make an appearance at some point. I don't know that Will is going to make an appearance.
Well, I mean, isn't he producing the show?
Yes.
Isn't he a producer on the show?
Yep.
So, like, with everything that happened last year, I think if he was planning on being in the show, it's delayed.
Okay.
Like, if he had plans on appearing in the show somehow, and it was going to happen in these first 2 seasons, I think that got pushed back because of, everything from last year.
Is this my boy Moloch following me on Twitter? Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my guy. I think it's him. It's his initials, I think. Shout out to my guy. Anyway,
Appreciate
K-pop, being in Africa was best experience of my life, which I believe wholeheartedly. I'm jealous. Got way more respect over there than I ever did in America. I hope Leon and Wanda make it out alive. Agree with every part of that,
me as well.
except
Me
the
too,
end,
bro.
because Leon and Wanda will not both make it out alive.
Don't, man, why you putting that on them?
Bro, it's not going to happen.
Knock on wood.
No, it's not going to happen.
Why are you hating on their love?
I'm not hating on it. It's just not going to happen. Realistic. Last thing before we get into Bel Air. If Will Smith and Alfonso show up in the show, it'll break the internet for real. 1,000%, especially if they do the Carlton.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. All right. Bel Air, Season 2, Episode 2. I have to find my notes to find out what the episode was called. And it's not in there. It was an episode. I don't know what it was called. I forgot. Sorry.
Who cares? It's all right.
Let me look it up. I gotta look it up. I gotta make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Double overtime between Michigan and Illinois right now, man. Woo.
No one cares.
Hey.
Bel Air Season 2, Episode 2, Speaking Truth. Will has been playing Kobe ball, and now his team is down because of it. Coach draws up a play to have Will dish the shot to the open player when Will draws the double team to win the game. That is absolutely the right play.
Yeah, he made the right play. Begrudgingly, talking shit the whole time, but yeah, he made the right play.
Uncle Phil still bitching up while Jeffrey is effectively stalking Will on the opposing team stands. Aunt Bessie just...
Go ahead.
He's definitely stalking Will. I don't know what that was.
Phil,
like he was
in that scene, I was like, yo, why is he mugging from the other side of the gym like that?
Like, down.
He was like, I know who can find out. Here's Jeffrey. I'm like, hey, yo, you in a gymnasium full of children? Chill out, fam. Like, ease up. What is happening?
Oh,
why do you look like that?
Actually, it was funny. All right. Uncle Phil's still bitching up while Jeffrey is effectively stalking Will in the opposing team stands. Aunt Viv suggests talking to him, which he says, like, I'll send him a text or something. I was like, be a man. Talk to him. Go talk to him.
If that was your homie and you ain't want to talk to him, you probably wouldn't want to be forced into doing it either. You're gonna do it on your own time.
I guess. All right. Will does the play as designed, and Kirk Heinrich fails to knock it down. At the end of the game, instead of listening to his coach to line up, Will runs over to Doc, which this is not the last time he will do this, who berates him for making the right play because they lost. Then Doc plays Will once again. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he tripping.
1,000%.
It's clear, like very early on that homeboy is a hustler. I don't know whose recruiter or coach he is, but he's a hustler. He probably about to get a bunch of money out of Will.
Hustler
and probably has
one
gotten
word
a bunch
for
of
him.
money out of any of these hoopers. Like, I expected Will to at least be like, oh yeah, for real? Who did you send to the league, bro? Who you sent to the league, bro?
He has no list.
Not homeboy with the gold fronts that introduced me to you, because I know he's in nobody's NBA.
Facts.
He ain't in nobody's D1. Who did you get there, fam?
Doc has no resume.
He got a traveling team. You about to go to college, boy. What you care about AAU?
That boy has no resume whatsoever. All right. K-Pop. I love this show, guys. I'd rather watch y'all over plenty of other YouTubers. Keep being authentic and real. Appreciate you. You a real one for that.
Appreciate it.
DeMarcus Vaughn. Doc and Will give me Birdie and Kyle vibes from the movie Above the Rim. That is extremely accurate. Extremely accurate.
Shit.
K-Pop says, I don't trust this new Jackie. Trust there's going to be some static between Lisa and Jackie. Carlton going relapse on the anxiety meds. I want to see the real Jazzy Jeff show up. To show us Jazz's dad. I agree with that.
So with who do we start with? Who did you say first? Jackie.
Jackie, yeah.
Like I was kind of on the fence about her because they changed her character a lot.
Okay.
And she's not a hooper. She was just around people who were hooping.
I think that was the original Jackie too. She was kind of like a tomboyish.
No. Jackie was a hooper. This Jackie was just around people playing basketball.
I got you.
Right, so it's like it's a little different. But now I'm starting to get that she's going to be integral to this whole arc with Doc. And probably whatever fiasco happens with him and Doc is going to lead him out of the relationship with Jackie and back to Lisa eventually. So I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, damn, how you going to leave her for Lisa? How's this going to work out? But then you start to see the building blocks. She's tied to Doc. That's her uncle. Doc is a hustler. He's a scammer, right?
And another word.
That's not going to end well, which probably means Will and Jackie's not going to end well, which leads him back to Lisa eventually.
Possibly. If she doesn't... No. I'll take that back. I was going to say, if she doesn't end up with Carlton again, but Carlton seems to be looking elsewhere.
Yeah, he's moved on.
Speaking of Carlton talks to Uncle Phil about the fact that they are about to talk to the doctor about lowering his meds. Carlton admits that his anxiety meds are actually giving him more anxiety with everything on his plate and the fact that he can't sleep because of them.
Yeah, I don't... I guess there's something truthful about the way that they're going through Carlton's substance abuse. I just kind of felt like we did this in season 1. So I thought we were going to be moving on to something else. And it seems like that's where they're pushing us, right? They lower his meds. He becomes more self-efficient. And then eventually that leads him to coping with narcotics over his medicine, right? As he's entering into all these more stressful situations. He's meeting back up with the BSU. Now he got, we'll talk about it later in the episode, but he got some more irons in the fire. Like, he got a lot of stressful stuff going on. So
sure.
It just seems like that's where they're kind of hurting us back to, is another Carlton slip, which I guess is truthful if you're talking about substance abuse.
A lot of the storylines seem like they're some of the same ones from the previous. But you know what? They're still making it decently entertaining, and there's a little bit of variation, enough to make me want to continue watching. So I will say that. But we will also come back to that anxiety, the medicine, all that shit. Uncle Phil happened to see Doc at the end of the game talking to Will. Uncle Phil then talks to Will at the house about his spat with his coach. Uncle Phil seems to think Doc is bad business and advises him to watch how he impacts what he does going forward, which is
He
good
should have gave
advice.
me the ball. Every time they let me cook, we win. And I seem to remember there was an episode like this in Fresh Prince where Will was having trouble kind of meshing with the team. And I can't remember how that episode played out exactly. But it was kind of similar. It was no outside force driving him, but there was like a college scout that was coming to see him, I think. And he was ball hogging. He wouldn't
Was
pass the
that
ball.
not was that not the same episode where Carlton threw up a shot and hit the side? That wasn't the same episode? No? I wanted that to happen in this show so bad, but like Carlton's such not a basketball guy, so it's probably not going to happen. But
Oh, I'm waiting for the day that Carlton says, "Oh, I'm trying out for the basketball team." Will. such and such likes basketball players. I'm signing up because if y'all thought some of the cutaway shots of Will's character Jabari going from a finger roll into a 360 dunk is cringy, just imagine homeboy going out there to hoop.
facts, facts, facts.
Oh my god! I think they gave him lacrosse for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. K-Pop says yes, Josh. It was. So I guess the episode was the one where Carlton
Okay. Yeah.
did a Paul George. Anyway, OG Ashley, aka Tatiana Ali, is teaching, and one white girl speaks about her not being able to understand what the book they read was saying. Meanwhile, smartass new Ashley seems to think she can write an even better book than the book that they just read. I was like, yo, okay, relax. That's when Tatiana Ali doubled down on her and tells her to prove it by writing said book.
hmm
Ashley then comes up to her teacher after class and admits she read the other book that she was given after class, and she asked for more. Once again, young Karen was upset and walks out of the room. Then Tatiana Ali gives her another book to read.
Yeah, man, it's amazing how somebody like why would your feelings even be hurt by that? I don't even understand what was the
She's giving
offensive
her
part of it.
extra
She gave
credit.
her a book.
She's giving her extra credit.
She gave her a damn book. You want a book? Go ask for one. You ain't asked for a book.
These kids want Fortnite. They don't want a book.
You didn't come up and say, "Hey, Miss O. Ashley, can you give me a book too?" No, you just got stank face
Right.
and walked outside, went home and told your mom.
See, but had Tatiana Ali given her a book, she could have been a young ally after reading Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Hey, fam, first of all, the fact that Ta-Nehisi Coates got name dropped, and I'm sorry if there's a Ta-Nehisi Coates fan in the chat, but the name that he got name dropped along with James Baldwin is egregious. Is egregious. Please, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay, you can let a man. He's not.
They're on the
He's
same
not
level,
James
right?
Baldwin.
They're basically
He was
the
like,
same
yeah,
person.
James Baldwin, Ta-Nehisi Coates. I was like, what? First of all, the teacher doesn't need to turn your daughter on to Ta-Nehisi Coates. She can get that at the local comic book store. Second of all, let's leave James Baldwin up there on the intellectual platform that he deserves to be on, and not put any modern, contemporary celebrity activists in the same light.
That is
You know,
fair.
it just seems a
Ta-Nehisi
little
Coates
disrespectful.
definitely has actual books. Like actual
Sure, he
books.
has books.
Not just comic books.
Shit.
But I
Anything
guess
could
that's
be
where
a
it
book.
stops. Anyway, Jazz in a fresh FUBU jersey is jamming to Pac in the record store where
And where
Coco
did he
Jones
find
was.
that? They had to search all of America. They had to search every Salvation Army in America to find that jersey.
That's a fact, but I kind of want that jersey.
It's fire. Straight out of
Unironically,
Chicken
I'm dead serious. I would love to have that jersey.
Not like, you know what? I think it got a little bit corny around the time that we got up, but I would sure like to have something like FUBU again. That we shouldn't have
Are
clowned
you
it.
wearing the Jabros with the FUBU jersey?
No.
Will you come onto the podcast with a FUBU
No.
jersey and your bow?
No.
Okay.
But you know what? I think I do have a FUBU sweatsuit.
You know what?
I think I have a FUBU sweatsuit.
If we get 125 likes on this live stream, I will wear a FUBU jersey and your bow cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Get the 125 likes and then we'll talk about it. All right. Okay. Jazz in a fresh FUBU jersey is jamming Tupac in the record store when Coco Jones walks in. After Coco brings him a tofu sandwich, Jazz makes a joke
Hold up,
about
you don't
her.
get this tofu chicken out of here. You gonna ask me for something? You better bring me something dripping in grease.
He liked it though, or maybe
The hell he
maybe
did.
he just said he liked it.
Yeah, I'm about to say he liked it until he found out what she was trying to get for it.
That's a fact. Jazz makes a joke about her being pregnant because she's staring at him all crazy. My issue with this conversation is that she like transitioned in a really weird way. She was like, "No, I'm not pregnant. I just want your Impala."
First of all, Jazz, I seen you doing your Alua bars yesterday, and now you having premarital sex. What you doing? Yeah, I'm about to call them boys on you. I'm about to get the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He about to read you the riot act for that stuff.
Yeah.
He going to bars, he drinking, he having premarital sex. Hey, chill. Come get him. He acting up.
Ew.
He's acting up.
Jazz declines, by the way, at first. Apparently, she needs it for some sort of rebrand video that the house is doing, but they got Turo. Like, in LA, I'm sure she can find a drop top for less than $100 a day. So I don't know why she absolutely needs Jazz's 6'4" Impala. However, Jazz Simpson gives it to her.
I was like, I know your parents got some expensive ass cars. Like, it's an oldie though. It's clean. It's an Impala. It's definitely a nice car. So maybe they don't have anything with that type of aesthetic. But I think the Escalade would do. I
literally
think
any car will do. Literally, they don't even need a car. They don't need to drive 2 centimeters down to the house.
It's part of social media cap. Like, you see how many times they shot the scene that was supposed to be them just pulling up to the house.
Speaking of social media cap, kind of like us driving and then parking the car in the skit.
No, that really happened. We did that in front of some folks.
Facts. All right. By the way, if you haven't seen the skit yet, it is on our page. Feel free to
please go check it out.
Through the shorts.
Our latest YouTube shorts.
Lisa pulls up on Carlton over his calculus scores, and the nerdiest conversation ever ensues. She then states that he should go for the fellowship award to get into Princeton. Mind you, Carlton stated that he wasn't sure why he wanted to go to Princeton, but then states that he wanted to start a new legacy. A very stark change in direction from OG Carlton, who was going to Princeton because his dad
about to die over being in Princeton.
Yeah, but his dad went to Princeton. Uncle Phil originally went to Princeton, but this Uncle Phil is Yamacraw. So yeah, he's gonna forge a new legacy at Princeton, which I thought was interesting. Let's see. K-Pac, I can honestly say Bel Air has a refreshing vibe compared to Power, BMF, Snowfall, Godfather of Harlem, etc. All good shows in their own right, but Bel Air feels different. Agreed. 1,000%.
Agreed. For
Nathan
sure.
Moore, the dedication and the wig. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yikes.
All right. Will attempts to apologize to the team for the way he acted with Coach during the last game, but then turns it into berating the team. Again, very Kobe-ish like.
All right, y'all, come around. No, first of all, Kobe ain't do no shit like this.
Kobe would definitely tell them, look, y'all been ass.
No.
Not
first
like
of
this.
all, he's not getting up there
and
saying, hey, y'all, look, my bad for getting y'all in the game.
Yeah.
It's all about the team. But in the interest of the team, Connor, you suck.
Kirk Heinrich
is essentially where that went.
Yes.
That was insane. First of all, y'all need to give me the ball more. When you give me the ball, it's going up. Stop playing. Okay? Get out the way, 4 corners. If I need you, I'll pitch it to you. Break. He said, West Philly will here now.
That got annoying really quickly, by the way.
West Philly will.
Okay, so yes, that all happened. Kirk Heinrich apologizes again for missing the game-winning shot, but Will explains that this is about the entire team. Unfortunately, Kirk admits that Will, and I quote, needs to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, And Bel Air
He
agreed
didn't say
silently.
that.
He said it verbatim.
He didn't say that.
He
He
said
did
that.
not say that.
And Bel Air agreed with him.
He didn't
So,
say that.
let's see.
He told him, he said, "We're not one of your homeboys." I was like, "All right, why do we have to get like microaggression type of racism in your response? Like, I was feeling sorry for you, but now I don't feel sorry for you at all."
Homeboys is definitely diet N-word for sure.
Like, we ain't one of your homies. Not one of your homies.
We're not
Why
drinking
you not my
40s on the
homie, man?
corner with you.
You my teammate. You supposed to be my homie. We
Facts.
supposed to be brothers.
Facts.
Why aren't you my homie?
There's only one other homie on the team, it seems. So, it's not looking good for Will.
He doesn't talk.
No, at all.
He doesn't talk.
OG Ashley, aka Tatiana Ali, walks out with a box full of her belongings, which is the universal sign of getting canned. New Ashley asks if she can help until Tatiana Ali admits that her employment got straight up clapped. I'll admit that while their relationship seemed a bit extra at this exact moment, it is at least endearing to see someone within this community see the importance of supporting somebody like Ashley, because Ashley is.
I think we've all had teachers like Tatiana Ali. What's the teacher's name?
I call her OG Ashley, aka Tatiana Ali, through this entire thing. So
okay. Anyways, I think we've all had teachers like that, where like, maybe your older sibling had them, and then you had them, or like your friends had them. All
well, not me, but I've seen it.
Well, in general,
with y'all.
For sure. So there's some familiarity there, and then I guess in this more recent climate, any type of attempt to broaden the scope of Black education is seen as some sort of affront to people or some sort of personal offense. So like it is very very current, I guess, in what they are addressing and what they're dealing with. I would like to, continue to see Ashley outside of some of these overarching social issues. I want them to continue to actually,
gets in, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, flesh her character out, like something that means something to her. Like, I know we railed on it a little bit last season, but honestly, the sexuality stuff had more to do with her than this. Not saying I'm mad at it totally, because we get to see Tatiana Ali. And it's gonna kind of bleed into Carlton and what he has going on, but I want them to I'm challenging them to continue to do something more with Ashley than have her be a billboard, and that's what she's been for most of the time on this show. It's like anytime we need to flesh out a social issue, we use Ashley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv speak with the doctors about his meds, and it's very clear that Phil doesn't understand anxiety and what causes it, while Aunt Viv has a bit of a better grasp. The doctor explains that it may be okay to ease him a bit off the meds to build his trust. Now, I've never dealt with anxiety, probably to the extent that Carlton is probably dealing with it. It seems like it's almost like a whole anxiety disorder that he might be going through.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost feels like they're treating anxiety kind of like it's like bipolar or like schizophrenia, more something a little bit more severe.
But
I feel like
what he does when he claims that his anxiety is out of control. He's completely he's akin to a junkie. He's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're treating it as opposed to they're treating it as a response to his worst moments as opposed to probably his baseline. Which probably isn't fair.
Sure.
Probably isn't fair. But then you be a parent of that child and then say that.
I was going to say,
you know what I mean?
No, dealing with the little bit of anxiety that I felt with, I feel like, that's pretty accurate at least.
Parent, yeah, you know what I mean?
You don't know what to do because you don't know what that person is really going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, look at us having a mature conversation about shit like that. Look at us having a mature conversation about mental health. Thought that was nice. Karuchi is way too controlling over shooting. Huh?
You want a cookie?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Sorry, can't provide it.
Karuchi is way too controlling over shooting a video to introduce the house, but maybe she should have hired us because we are skit extraordinaires.
Absolutely. We'd have got that thing shot in about 15 minutes.
She was talking about like 15 different takes. I'm like, it took us like 6. Anyway, Karuchi says she's going in the driver's seat, and despite Coco warning her, Karuchi says she's not going to break her little boyfriend's car. And then that's when Jazz pulls up.
Well, hey, first of all, he wasn't my little boyfriend when you was trying to stick your tongue all down his tonsils. You wasn't no little boyfriend then. Don't start hating. Hey, girls are good for that. Girls are very good for that, for throwing the little underhanded sidearm comments like, "Oh yeah, girl, I see you got your little business going or whatever. I see you got you a new little car or whatever. I see you got your little degree." And it's like, hey yo, stop that. Cut that out.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, that's right.
Either just say F me and you don't care about my accomplishments, or go on about your day. I don't want your faux compliments.
Oh, I see you and your little family that you done started. Okay.
Right, yeah, it's your little family and stuff. You got your little husband, little ring. Why is everything little? Okay? Like,
oh man. I see that little Escalade you're whipping around or whatever.
right, yeah. Everything little.
All right, Nathan Moore says, coming off his meds is what's happening. K-Pop says, man, am I the only one that thinks the new Uncle Phil is uptight and pompous? I still like him and the actor who plays him, but damn dude is uptight. Makes me miss OG Phil. 1,000%. I agree with that.
I think the contrast is the contrast between being in a sitcom and being in a hour-long drama.
That is fair.
Because how do you show a judge in all of his ego, all of his arrogance? Because I mean, this is a very accomplished guy. He's obviously a wealthy guy. He's a black man that lives in Bel Air. It absolutely makes sense in real life. Like if we got to see him once he walked off that fourth wall and the studio audience went away, like the real Philip Banks probably would have a lot of what New Day Uncle Phil is giving. Only we don't have the time or the range to show you those kind of nuances of a real person in a sitcom that's built to be funny and happy most of the time.
For sure. I agree. Also, to Rewind Gang out there, I apologize that it looks like I've gotten snapped by Thanos, but my webcam is acting a little funky today, so it's all good. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it totally looks like I'm glitching out of the game right now. Anyway,
that's cool, bro.
Jazz makes it clear to Coco that Ivy is playing puppet master and pulling all of Coco's strings. He then calls her out for making them official but not public because of her brand, which was wild.
that was some lame ass shit. That was some lame.
Yeah, and it's just like, first of all, why are we going into yet another storyline already? That's the same thing. But yeah, that was kind of whack. It was a terrible excuse.
Yeah, I was like, hey, yo, Jazz, bro, you should have left the main thing. You sound like... Yeah, never mind. I won't do that tonight. I won't invoke any gender wars. But let's just say Jazz didn't feel like he was in the most masculine position.
He sounded like a beta male.
Beta? No, like, for real, Jazz, like, you obviously mad about the car, right? Okay, cool. That's all well and good. But if you was all in your feelings about her not posting you, though, like, that was probably a conversation that could have happened after all of this. Sure. Or any time other than right now in the middle of this argument. And it's National Boyfriend's Day and you ain't post me.
Sure.
That ain't a good look.
But her excuse is whack too, though. The whole branding thing, I was like... her excuse made it legitimate for him to feel that way. Like come on, Coco, you got 10,000 followers on the gram. Relax.
Yeah, why you want to be all up on my social media? Like, I'm not even a social media person. But then you going back and being like, no, I gotta let the homies be ambiguous about whether or not I'm available. It's gotta be a facade of availability. Okay, yeah, no, now it just sound like you parking lot pimping. I don't like that. So get up off the app now. It sounds legitimate. If she was a bigger
celebrity in the show, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, dog, you got like, I'll be fair. She got probably like 50,000 followers on the gram. Cut it out.
Well, no, that's if sex is what she's selling, she would do well to keep her man off her page.
But it's not what she's selling, right? Like we went through that whole arc when she was doing the cooking show. I mean, it's Coco Jones, so it's 1,000% what she's selling. even when she's not trying.
When
But
she's not selling, she's still selling.
right, facts. All right. Will hasn't told the family about what happened with the basketball team. Doesn't seem to matter now because Ashley is more upset about Tatiana Ali getting canned. Aunt Viv says she's going to snap her fingers with the version of the PT or with their version of the PTA because I don't know what the fuck they called it, and she's going to get some answers.
Yo, when she said that shit, I was like, she about to go round up all the mamas and they about to have a talk over tea.
You know what? And that would be dope if she wasn't in Bel Air.
I'm calling the mothers and we're going to do something about this.
Yeah, no, that would be absolutely dope. And she probably would have got somewhere if she wasn't in Bel Air. So
yeah, I mean, it definitely seemed like the PTA was about halfway interested. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, facts. All right. Viv and Uncle Phil let Carlton know that he can lower his dosage starting tomorrow, and he seems very happy with the answer. Will gets a text.
But if you start having the withdrawals too hard, baby, we can give it back to you. We can get them drugs for you now.
Yo,
relax. We can wrap it back up.
I mean, we'll see.
I still got him.
We'll see. Will gets a text from Jackie. It's a bit weird that he texts her, "Hey Jackie, it's Will. Met you at Venice. Okay if I call you?" And his use
he didn't text her.
No, he didn't.
He didn't text her. That was probably a DM. It's probably a DM, and she sent the number through the DM so he could call her.
Well, that explains what I was going to say next. But it's still weird that he texts or messages with capital U's like he's Usher or some shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? Stop calling her you with a capital U like that. He's a teenager, I get it, but that was fucking weird. All right. Aside from that, Will clearly leads with Doc, which leads her to almost hang up on his dumbass. But then Will
like he was on it like extra heavy. Like, yeah. So what's up with Doc? Like, hey fam.
Hey, this is Will.
She didn't give you the number for this.
Like, chill.
Hey, getting on the phone with a female and the first thing you say is, "Hey, yo, what's up with Doc?" is nuts. That is crazy.
Oh shit! But then he very unsmoothly transitions to wanting to get to know her more, and she instantly becomes a pick-me. Like, I was just like, bro, you were just upset and about to hang up on him, but there's something about him that just kept you on that phone call, huh?
She does it again. And she does it again because he literally comes in with the same energy at the club. Like, yeah, where Doc at? Like, fam.
Relax. Come on, bro.
That man made it into an after hour. First of all, can we talk about that? I know that's where we're going next. How the hell did they get to an after hour spot when they're supposed to be like 16 years old?
Jazz drove them.
Is Jazz over 21? You feel me? Like, what is happening here? Like, I'm thinking Will and Carlton are like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Which Jazz, if he has his own place, he's probably like 21, 20-ish, 20, 21. So maybe Jazz can get in. Maybe. But you ain't about to just walk some 16-year-olds, not just to the club, to the after hours. So it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, fam. Like,
no, it gets funnier.
How did y'all get in there?
It gets funnier. The combos they have later. It's just, we'll talk about it in a second.
It's nuts. Yo, fam, how do we even do this?
They try to reconcile it, but it doesn't work. It just seems weird. Anyway. All right. Vivian talks to the PTA, and some people are catching what she's throwing down, but there's obviously a Karen and a Kevin in the bunch. Hilarious that when Viv goes down the list of black writers, which we already kind of talked about, Tatiana, when they go through that list, Karen starts to giggle through like half of the list. She's just like, obviously, Ta-Nehisi Coates and and she just goes,
which was egregious.
I was like, yo, that's wild.
Egregious. However, if she would have laughed at the Ta-Nehisi Coates part, I felt like I would have been with her. I'd have been like, hell yeah.
That was like the last name on the list. She laughed sometime like halfway through it. I was just like, damn.
Yo, I was like, how did we end there? we ain't got no Maya Angelou, no Angela Davis. We gonna go from Baldwin to Coates.
I feel like she laughed after I feel like she said James Baldwin. She went okay. James Baldwin, sure.
Yeah. She's like, yay! She said James Baldwin, she went, gay!
Facts. However, the school has policy in place about their whole curriculum or whatever. So Aunt Viv seems like she's about to set the whole school on fire. It just seemed like she was still on the vendetta, even though she got that answer from the school lady.
Viv trying to whoop everybody ass. She trying to whoop school's ass. She trying to
Yo,
get after Mickey
I was
Blue
gonna say
Eyes.
in the next scene.
Hey, film. I swear, I think Michael Ealy has some scheduling conflicts.
I was about to say that. No, he definitely has some scheduling conflicts.
Because what happens in this episode don't make a lick of fucking sense as to why it's happening like this.
He definitely was like, "Look, I got another show."
They wrote it for him to be there that day, and maybe he just couldn't show up for some reason. They just shot over emergency. It. It don't make a lick of sense.
He had an art emergency, and so they used that in the show. All right. Phil pulled up on Jeffrey at his local duckout. This issue the issue should probably have been at least solved at least probably sometime last episode because niggas are being petty at this point. Phil then asked how G is going about his son Frederick. Like he's asking like, how are you doing? Like what's going on with that? That's when G checks Phil for being super disrespectful, but then he just agrees to coming back home. Like he was like, yeah, you were mad disrespectful in the way you talked to me in last season, but you know what? I'll come back. It's cool. Whatever.
I don't have a problem with it going that way because I hate drawn out prolonged disagreements or bouts over simple stuff. And this is how this should have been handled. Like it was simple from the standpoint that Jeffrey was just trying to help Will at the end of the day. It wasn't so much about defying you. He was trying to help Will with the request that he was able to do. And when you add the extra context of him and his son to it, Phil should have understood it instead of lashing out.
Yes.
I think. It's not like, he brought the dude to the house without you knowing or introduced him. He gave him information on his father, which he has a right to. Yes. And you don't have a right to withhold it from him.
For sure.
And if you've apologized to Will for withholding information, it's only right for you to go back to Jeffrey and make that right. So I didn't have a problem with them not belaboring the point or dragging it out so that they can keep arguing about petty shit for the rest of the season. It really challenges them as writers to move on and write a new arc for Philip and Jeffrey and keep us engaged. Okay, we're done with the conflict. What are you going to do now?
Yep, for sure. K-Pop says Jazz appears to be Case. Jazz is older than Will and Carlton and a lot smarter than the OG Jazz. We need to see more Jeffrey, Mr. MI6. He has a very interesting story arc. I agree with that. Jeffrey definitely needs to be in more of these episodes. Yeah. He is Agent 47, so we need to see more of him.
Yeah, bad man.
Facts. All right, let's talk about this club scene. So, Will picked a great night to escape and head to the after hours because, A, Carlton just happens to know where all the cameras are to escape. B, where the fuck are Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv? They just seem to be out. Well, Uncle Phil is with Jeffrey, but Aunt Viv seems to also be out. And because of that,
when you live in a house that stretches about an acre, it's a lot of ways you can sneak out of that mud. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They not creaking floorboards in there. They getting up through.
Facts. And because of that, Carlton scores an invite down to South Central. Will, Jazz, and Carlton pull up to what has to be the lamest club in LA. Because the first scenes where they showed the club, I felt like it was borderline empty. It almost seemed like at some points. And I'm just like, lucky enough for Carlton, he might be able to pull a chick in there who's giving him the eye.
Or two.
He put in some work. Will is still leading with questions about Doc like an idiot. At this point, I'm still unsure what he's...
Hey, yo, where Doc at?
At this point...
First of all, he start crumping with her. Hey, yo.
Don't take my joke, bro. Don't take my joke. At this point, I'm still unsure what she sees in him since he seems to be pretty one note. And then he crumped like Marcus in between filming segments. Oh, man. Tony Robinson said, it's so much cake on the show. Yes.
Yeesh.
Agreed. Jackie dances with Will for all of 5 seconds when Will states that he needs to grab some water. The whole water thing was so annoying because obviously they're too young to get any actual drinks, and so they have to get water. I was like, stop, please, stop with this.
The reiterating fact about him telling him, hey, y'all don't drink nothing now. Y'all don't drink nothing. Like we already in here now. Ain't nobody about to card us now. What do you need?
And he just mutes me. That's real cool. See how it is. Also, Carlton seems to obviously be dancing with now 2 girls out of nowhere, which was wild. He's got 2 of them things, and I know Carlton doesn't have any game, so how he got them, I'm pretty interested in why he got them.
I think that boy did a line or something because he was hella hype. I mean,
Carlton
you know what? I could have just been excited, but I think he got a little something in the club.
So Carlton needed the water. Will was just looking for an excuse to get away from Jackie for a second. It seems like
He could have popped the pill. You're right. If he needed the water, he could have popped the pill.
Tony Robinson says, "Is Jackie older than Will?" I would think so because of the club thing.
I mean, if she was already at the after hours and she told him to pull up, I'm assuming that she's older. But since teenagers are in the club at 3:00 in the morning, I don't. Sure. Anything's up for grabs. You Absolutely. Know what I mean?
Okay, so we find out that Doc is her uncle. This nut-ass freak boy is standing behind Will while he's dancing with his niece while mean mugging him in the club. That's when he decides to pull Will to the side. And at this point, is bro pimping his niece to Will?
I think so. Like, it feels that way. Once they found out that he got some money, I won't say her interest got piqued, but there was obviously a connection where he thought he lost out on dude the first night when he passed up the shot.
Yeah.
And then he just so happens to stumble into Jackie. He talking to her. And now it's like, oh, well, pull up to this club where my uncle just so happens to be. Like, she wasn't surprised by the fact that that man showed up at that time. You knew he was here. You've been here longer than me. You knew he was here.
Well, then that would also make sense as to why he keeps immediately talking about Doc, and yet she still seems interested in him.
Exactly, because
she's playing a game.
What girl in her right mind is going to be enamored with a boy who worries more about her middle-aged uncle than he does about her?
Facts. Doc explains that Will is soft because of Bel Air. He then attempts to recruit Will to the AAU team in a scene that looked more like a drug deal than a recruitment to join the AAU team.
Damn, this is Los Angeles. There's got to be a better way to find an AAU team than going to this shady character. I got this for my future. Are you sure? Because like this just doesn't. Nothing about this feels right.
No.
They got training academies that Uncle Phil could pay for to get him in. He can
go play with Bronny and Bryce Maximus.
Bam. Head over to Sierra Canyon, put some shots up with Bronny and Bryce. Bam. Why are you messing around with this dude, this hobo? Like the nigga who shows up to the high school basketball games and talks shit to the players.
And pimps his niece for you. All right. Carlton and Will wake up supposedly hungover from all the water they drank. Now Carlton might actually be hungover because he was on some Molly, but Will seemed also hungover and tired. I was just like, "Fam, relax." G pulls up.
It was late, Josh. They're 16, and they was kicking it at 3 in the morning.
They look hungover. They didn't look tired.
They ain't used to that.
They look hungover. G pulls up to join the family. Will blames himself for getting Jeffrey kicked out, which it's not all his fault, and he should understand that there's probably a lot more to the story than just him, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Viv is still upset about the article being all about Reed, which we will talk about the other scene here in a second. When Ashley asks about Tatiana Ali, Viv drops the following bar. If no one disrupts the system doesn't change. Fire.
Shout out to Aunt Viv.
Fire. Coco Jones invites Jazz over for lunch to apologize, and she states that she wants to tell her parents. Jazz seems flustered, obviously, but is cool with it. That's when the doorbell rings and Viv and Phil walk through the front door.
Yeah, don't
What?
do me like that.
Why are you
Give me
setting me
some
up?
time to prepare.
Why
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
setting me up
yeah.
like
Don't
this?
don't do it like that. You got to tell me. Like, first of all, she did it to everybody. She didn't tell nobody who was gonna be there.
Like,
Just
can you
like show up
relax?
for
Can you
lunch.
chill? Like, you're doing too
And
much.
then on top of that, what could possibly be their beef with Jazz? Like, unless it's just some straight up elitist, we want our daughter with a somebody with the family from wealth type shit. Like, Jazz is an entrepreneur. He's a business owner,
And
right?
get it out the
I
mud.
don't know what level of education he has, but he has enough to keep his business going.
And
He's a
advise
good friend
her
of
on,
Will.
give her good advice.
Kept your nephew safe when he ran away from home. He's always been respectful when he showed up to your crib. What could possibly be the problem with Jazz except for he's poor?
Okay, so if it is that, which it very well could be, that is a complete character shift from everything we've known
And
about
we've
this Uncle
seen up
Phil
to
and
this
Aunt Viv.
point. So I'm really interested into what their problem is with this pairing. I really want them to think about where they're taking this now. Because everything you showed us is that these are the most progressive people on the planet.
Yeah.
These are two of the most progressive black parents in all of the world. So then for them to turn their nose up to this young black boy outside of Bel Air, but still in LA, okay, you better have a damn good reason.
We'll see. We'll
A
see.
damn good one.
All right, let's see here. Tony Robinson says, "Is Jackie older?" Oh, I think we already said that. It's obvious that Lisa will start dating the Braxton-looking dude from the Black Student Union. I'm assuming. Could be. I don't know. I don't think I saw
Yeah,
him in this episode
probably.
though. K-Pop says, "I don't like what they're doing with Jackie's character. Her uncle Doc is an ass." Agreed.
I
Agreed.
don't think they can allow for Will to love Jackie too much because well, you know what? We talking about high school love. So this is some of the most randomest shit that could happen for them to end up, you know, splitting anyways. I
Facts.
just feel like they're replacing the Jackie arc, which was pre Lisa in the sitcom, with a kind of maybe a lesson teacher relationship for Will.
Sure.
Right? Like this is going to give him probably the foresight of mind of like what to look out for in relationships going forward. Because I believe she's involved in the scheme to try to get Will and try to get some money off his uncle.
I agree. I agree. All right. The BSU discussed Tatiana Ali's firing and puts it on Yasmin to rally behind her, which would probably explain the Black Teachers Matter poster that they put up in the trailer. The BSU seems to be behind Will and Carlton's idea around this blackout protest. So we'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
Viv attempts to meet with Reed, but apparently can't because Bro canceled due to an art emergency. Because that's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
Michael Ealy wasn't in, y'all, because this scene didn't
that
make
has to
a
be it.
damn bit of sense.
That
It
has
made
to
no
be it.
sense. She traveled all the way to this man's office for him to say he wasn't there. Like, and she didn't call him. She didn't walk right out of that office and get on her phone and be like, WTF, I'm in your office. We had a meeting today. What the hell is your art emergency? She's definitely not leaving a message with this girl. We ain't got nothing to do with it. Hey, I think they were supposed to have a class right there, and then bro was like, "Hey, I'm not coming into work today," and they was like, "Well, screw it, we're not wasting the film.
I gotta use my PTO.
Let's change something up."
That's when Viv tries to leave a message stating that she no longer needs his help. The secretary explains she might want to tell Reed that herself, but it seems Viv can't due to an art emergency. Carlton has a chat with Miss Basson, and it seems she doesn't agree with the protest here in Bel Air. She finna snitch on Carlton if they protest.
She the bully. She
Which
the
is
boule.
nuts.
The black boule.
Yeah, that's nuts.
She, hey, don't you come around these people acting like that, you hear? Now, I done kept my head down for about 20 years now. Now I know how to do this. Now you get out there shucking and jiving, they gonna hang you up sure enough now.
Facts.
You better stay in line.
Yeah.
Crazy that she stood in the back of the room the whole time, listened to
Didn't
the
say
whole
nothing.
thing, and then tried to get Carlton when he was by his dope. That's how them chaos agents work, y'all. Y'all better watch out for them. They're gonna try to get you when ain't nobody else around. And be like, listen, man, you look like a good black fella. I think you know what it really takes to turn this thing around. I think you know. You know. Run.
Yes.
Go the other way. They the
Absolutely.
bully.
Absolutely.
They are the bully.
Will tells his teammate that there won't be any drama between him, the coach, and Kirk Heinrich. He also states that he'll be at the game, but of course he was being super vague at that point. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is about to happen at this game.
Yeah, a version of me would be, and it's gonna be West Side Will.
West Philly Will. I was like, what? Shut up.
It's gonna be the return of West Philly Will.
Like, bro, chill out. Carlton pulls up and Will calls him Carlton X, to which Carlton responds, and I quote, Will, shut the fuck up with that bullshit. I'm trying to win.
Okay, he didn't say this.
He said this verbatim.
Look, okay. You two don't like us cussing like that anyways.
We're well past the 15 seconds. Will, he says, and I quote, Will, shut the fuck up with that bullshit. I'm trying to win most likely the code switch from the yearbook committee, and it's got my anxiety all fucked up. He said that verbatim. He said that verbatim.
Hey, he is working his code switch this season, man. He went from the why do I have to interact with black people to be black boy last year to the I'm in the BSU now. I'm in between two black girls at the club. That's what I do. Shit.
And for the first time in my life, I've tasted chocolate.
He was like, "This is my medicine." This vibe is the medicine. Like, damn, Carlton, you've been black your entire life, and you're intoxicated by blackness at the age of 16.
Facts. Facts. All right. Will has something planned for the game, and of course he states that West Philly Will or whatever is back. At the game, Will is making shots, talking shit, blocking shots, calling ISOs, creating separation with his shoulder, with shots to the chest that almost seem like charging damn near, which I thought was nuts. The team is up by double digits, and the coach wants to now work on their perimeter game. Coach, you're up 15. Maybe get the ball into the paint.
He said, all right, let's work our perimeter game. Let's try to get Jimmy a bucket.
No. Get the ball to the paint.
20 seconds left in the game.
Get the ball to the paint and shoot some high percentage shots to keep the lead. What are you talking about?
All right, let's work our perimeter game. Like, it's another one of them instances where, like, it's really a silly assertion for Will to act like that towards his coach, right? But then they validate it with a lack of context of actually knowing basketball. Because why the hell would you be setting up a pin down screen for a 3-pointer with 30 seconds left in the game? Anyways, I would probably look at my coach like he a nut ass freak ball too. What are you talking about, fam? Why are we disrespecting him like that? Let's work this into the paint and try to get a good shot.
Yeah, no. At least the shot somewhat made sense last time. This doesn't make sense at all. Setting up the perimeter game this late in the game when you're up 15, shut up. Shut up. Coach asks Will to facilitate and dish the rock to Kirk Heinrich, who, mind you, missed the shot last time. Will tells Coach that Kirk has real ice in his veins and that he's throwing up more bricks than a Pusha T concert.
He didn't say any of this.
He said all of that. Verbatim. The coach, who looks like a young Skip Bayless, informs Will that... Hold on, let me get through this. The coach, who looks like a young Skip Bayless, informs Will that he doesn't care that Kirk is only good for 1.4 points a game. Will needs to pass the ball to Water Pistol Pete Jr. immediately. Now. Pass him the ball. Get it to him. Dish the rock. Now.
Oh, my God. I don't know what's funnier. Is that homeboy is basically whining for the ball and then sulking, or the fact that his coach is definitely getting owned by Will at this point, because it's like he's literally telling you in front of all the other players. Hey.
No. Facts.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot this rock now. All right, call timeout when you need it. Okay.
It's very clear somebody is LeBron and somebody is Eric Spoelstra his first year.
Nah,
Or no, better yet, LeBron and
this is David Blatt.
Oh, David Blatt is a good one. David Blatt is
This
a
is
really good one.
Lebron and David Blatt.
I was gonna say Tyronn Lue
Like,
first year.
I wouldn't be surprised if Will did mess around, go to the principal, and be like, "Hey, yo, can we talk about Coach Stevenson real quick? Because I really think we could do better."
Facts. This time, Will doesn't listen and takes the contested shot, but makes it. Coach is upset, but there's less than 20 seconds left in the game. Pipe down. He made the shot. All right, chill out.
I said, "We're on the offense, but I'm cooking, Coach."
Will catches a steal, and while Coach is telling him to set up the offense again with 20 seconds left, up 20, Will instead goes for a self alley-oop. A selfish move indeed, and looked crazy. And
Hey, yo,
sure, not to grant him any sportsmanship.
in a real basketball game, we're what had to have been under 10 seconds at that point. You bounce passing yourself a oop at the end of the game is going to get you stolen on.
Yes.
Somebody is going to put their hands on you. They losing by 20, and you just did a bounce alley oop to yourself. When the shot clock is off,
you're not winning any sportsmanship awards with this at all.
Somebody is hitting you. Somebody is knocking you out.
Facts. Which it looked like they were about to, but then they just kind of shoulder checked them and then kept walking. I was like, oh, you could have decked them with shit. It would have been all right.
That wasn't Watts High School. I know that.
Facts. Facts.
Wasn't Compton High.
Doc assures Will that he was right all along, but I like to look at it as this team specifically that Will just played is probably not as good as the team they played before. So all of the antics and not listening to his inconsistent ass coach in this game clearly didn't matter as much. That doesn't necessarily make Doc or Will right in this case. That other team just sucked.
For sure. I agree. And you know this is going to go a long way to boosting up his trust in Doc because Doc told him something, and then he went out there and he was selfish with his teammates, but it worked. So
Facts.
He must be right. That's how teenagers think.
Clearly. Phil pulls up on Doc as he's talking to Will. Will is straight cheesing over Doc, like, get over him. Like, what? Coach tells Will to head back to the locker room, and as Will waves him off like Dame after that half-court shot against PG, I couldn't help but cry laughing at how dejected the coach looked. Like, fam, grow some balls. Tell him to get in the locker room.
He told that nigga, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, I'll be in there in a minute. Shut up.
He gave him one of these. He said, hey, yo. I probably would have chucked the basketball at Will's head.
Something. Do something. The coach just looked like,
Oh.
He put me in my place.
You coming now? Oh. Like, bro.
Maybe Doc is right about how soft Bel Air is because that's all I saw when Will clearly sets the rules here. If it wasn't for Uncle Phil, Will probably never would have made it to that locker room. Nah, Coach, I'm headed out. I'll see you at practice 2 weeks from now.
Will's not going to practice. Show up for the next game.
Yeah, I'll just show up for the next game. Will's not going
you about to hit him with the AI.
Facts.
I've been practicing with my AAU team, so we good.
Facts. All right. Phil demands Doc explain his job title, and Doc fails to explain it in one word. Recruiter, coach, mentor, NIL analyst, niece pimp, part-time thug, babysitter, and he do hair. Something like that. Phil tells bro that if he want to talk to his nephew, he got to talk to him and his wife first. Doc hands him his card. The issue here is that the adults have this weird relationship with these kids to where these kids can just text the adult and they're just going to pop up wherever anyway. So it's not like him telling him that is going to do anything. He can just pop up whenever he really wants. And he's got the niece, so he's got connections to Will.
I mean, anyway. He has to tread a little bit more lightly with the Bankses because of what he's trying to get out of him.
Sure.
But you're right. I mean, you can only do so much to keep him from talking to him. So you already know your nephew. He'll work around you if he's able to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That is all I have. Tony Robinson says, I feel Jackie will tell her uncle that she likes Will too. Much to, probably to ruin the plan eventually. Much to all the way with the plan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's saying, it's probably going to ruin the plan at some point, which I agree with. Which she should get Will over Doc, because Doc sucks. Doc is ass. Doc is terrible. You're an AAU coach, fam. Stay in your lane. Just saying.
All Will gotta do is stop asking about Doc, and he'll get some information out of Jackie. Probably he's too busy asking about her uncle to get to school.
Facts. Tony Robinson says Doc is shiesty, no poo. Facts. Facts. Big
For
facts.
sure.
Any other thoughts on Bel Air season 2, episode 2?
Woo. Um. What comes to a head first? The Doc and Will relationship, or Ashley, Jazz, and Ashley's parents?
Hillary.
If that comes to, does that end up with Jazz and Hillary no longer being together?
Something is
Does
going
Trevor pop up at some point during the season and try to backdoor my dude
Yeah, I was
Jazz?
gonna say something drives the wedge between Jazz and Hillary. I don't know what. I also don't think it's gonna happen right away. So I don't know. I feel like both of them are going to go the whole season. I feel like Hillary and Jazz will at least go the whole season, and Doc is going to end at the season finale. I never want to see Doc after this season. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's not long for the show. He's being pegged as the main antagonist for the season, but I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his actor is pretty good. His actor does a really good job of making me hate the character, and I'm assuming that's where they're going with it. So I'd like to think he's doing a really good job at what he's doing. I feel like I've seen him somewhere
Agreed.
else, but I don't know where. I don't know. I'll figure it out, I guess.
Can tell you,
Anyway,
bro.
right. He's probably on some fucking Tubi movie or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, any other thoughts on Snowfall? Any other thoughts on the live today? The live was great. Got a lot of interaction.
Appreciate everybody.
Got a lot of
Appreciate all the
engagement.
comments, the super chats. Thank you very much.
For sure.
Always,
For sure.
always keep rocking with us.
For sure. For Rewind Gang, there is a link in the chat that was put in there by my personal YouTube account. So make sure you check that out. If you don't already have Hulu, to check out Snowfall, along with other Black shows such as Atlanta, Abbott Elementary. They got plenty of other great shows on there. So make sure you check that out and subscribe to Hulu to get I believe they have a free promo going on right now. Also, Rewind. Make sure you check out our skit that is in our YouTube Shorts, where we did the Franklin Saint talking to Leon skit about Manboy. So make sure you check out that. Anything else? Snowfall playlist, Bel Air playlist is also in the description. So make sure you check out some of our other reviews. Make sure you subscribe because we'll be doing this every week, every Thursday. Am I missing anything, Mr. Marcus?
That's it, man. Like, share, subscribe, get us some likes. Put 125 likes in there so we can search the Salvation Army for a FUBU sweatsuit for Josh to wear.
Not a
Live on
sweatsuit.
there.
I'm wearing the FUBU jersey with Jerbodes.
I'm gonna look for a FUBU velour sweatsuit. A FUBU velour sweatsuit. That thing will be silky.
You know what?
With a pair of Birdman lugs.
No, okay, you just ruined it.
The whole velour sweatsuit, FUBU over the chest, some Birdman lugs on your feet. We taking it back to O2.
I will only. Okay, no. I'll do you one better. I will only accept if it's the Fat Albert collection from FUBU or the Muhammad Ali, the greatest collection. And instead of Birdman lugs,
you go to the thrift store. It ain't. There's no picking. Anything FUBU that look like a sweatsuit, you just gonna have to put it.
It has to be one or the other. So you might want to hit eBay. And then it can't be Birdman lugs because fuck Birdman. It's got to be the Funk Master Flex has some boots. I don't remember what they. I don't know if they're Lug. You know what? He was the spokesman for Lugs. He was the spokesman for Lugs, I think. So if you find some Funk Master Flex,
given the choice between some Birdman lugs and some Funk Master Flexes, the Funk Master Flex 5000s,
we gotta take it to another level.
The flex.
Or some Percy Miller shoes. Find me some Percy Millers, I'll wear it.
Hey, it's been great, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Y'all be safe.
Wait. We gotta discuss this. Power is coming out on the same day as Swarm. Are we doing Swarm?
Yeah.
Are we going to do
I mean,
another
it's not
live
going to be a
review?
live review. We
Let's
don't
do a
have
live
time to
stream.
do all 4 of these
Let's do a
shows
live stream.
to go live. No,
Let's do a live stream
no.
on Saturday, bro.
No.
Nah, whatever. We'll discuss it on Sunday, but we'll do both.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
We're
don't
gonna
know
do
about
both
that.
Power and
We
Swarm.
will be reviewing both shows, though. We will have reviews up. And then, in some cases, that may be a little bit better. We get a little bit more chance to get in depth to it, edit the videos up.
It
It looks
good.
nicer.
Looks good. Childish Gambino is doing the damn thing. Chloe, what's homegirl's name? I forgot her name already.
The chick
Was in
from the Fred Hampton movie,
yes,
from Black Messiah. I don't
feel
know
bad
though.
that I forgot her name. Danielle, her, yeah, looks like a great show. We'll probably review it. So make sure you subscribe and get back with us.